Hi, yeah, so I wanted to show you around my new release, Earth's Mysteries. It's the first track from my new album that's coming out called Warrior Princess. And it's probably one of the least commercial tracks in a way, but it's a track I'm really proud of. I think it's a beautiful song. And the story behind the song is I was tinkering around with the music for a long time on the piano. And then when I came to start making this album, we had the terrible news that my wife had a very aggressive form of cancer that had grown, alarmingly quickly and had spread. And we really didn't know if she was going to make it. It wasn't a given that she was going to make it through this situation. And of course, that gets your mind really going, thinking about life and thinking about death, And this song's lyric really is that. It's thinking about what happens when you pass. What is there? Is there anything? And not only that, but all the mysteries of the world that we really still don't know. There's so much we don't know. And it's that yearning to wish that you could see the full picture of life, the universe and everything. And when my wife sung the vocal, because it's her singing, the lead vocal, she was deep in chemo, she had no hair, she was really going for it. She's a very, very brave woman, I'm extremely proud of her. And she's still come up and sung this for me. I put myself in her position in a way by writing this song, and she really felt it, and she put her heart and soul into it. So if I solo her vocal, I'll start there.
I wish that I could see.
Such a beautiful voice, she really is a great singer.
And
I recorded that with a Bock microphone going into my Hairchild compressor with the music.
I wish that I could see.
I put a little mini Moog going through a spring reverb just to answer her line.
I wish that I could see.
Quite simple. With a very wobbly Rhodes. It's actually my vintage vibe going through a Jam Pedals waterfall on the vibrato setting, which just gives it a nice wobbly nature and warms up the top end. So they sound like nice warm hug to go with the vocal, which is also a warm hug.
I wish that I could feel. I wish that I could know.
And then I wanted the main end bit to have a big choral effect. I'm really into a track called I Am the Black Gold of the Sun by the Rotary Connection. It's one of my favourite songs. I always just think it's so magical. And I wanted to create that kind of effect. So I needed a lot of singers. I used 7 different singers, plus myself, and they're all tracked up about 3 or 4 times to try and create this enormous effect.
The secrets, what I give to know.
It's a big, powerful sound.
The secrets of Earth's mystery.
And I made the harmonies quite clustered. So that worked out really well. When it was mixed by John Kelly, who did an amazing job on the mix, he really blended it so nicely as well and got a great sound on them. Next, I will come to the harp. There's harp on this track because one of the things I really wanted to get on my album was a bit of a sort of cosmic jazz vibe. I've been really listening to things like Pharoah Sanders and stuff like that a lot recently, and I just love that kind of dreamy, trippy vibe. And I think real harp is just such a beautiful instrument. So she's on, there's a harp player called Amanda Whiting, and I managed to find her on the internet and contact her, and she agreed to come over from Wales and perform on 4 tracks for me. And she just absolutely smashed it, and it's just, I love the sound of what she did. So she's kind of playing the motif that was originally on a piano. And that was just recorded with 2 mics, either end of the harp. And to go with that, I wanted Spanish guitar, and I got my friend Rob Harris, who's the guitarist from Jamiroquai, to play some Spanish guitar, which he kindly did. And the harp and the guitar sort of answer each other. They just fit like a hand in glove. So here's the 2 together. So it gives a really organic, you know, woody, beautiful sound to the song. You can hear it later. So I let that be the main part of the song in the beginning rather than keyboards, you know, because although I'm a keyboard player, I'm more into just making great music, you know, that's my goal. So it doesn't matter whether it's keyboards or what the instrument is. So the keyboards come in kind of halfway through the verse, and if I play you some of them, they're doing this very dreamy sort of stuff. So that's a Moog. I think I used the Mini Moog, the Moog Muse, and my third wave. I think the Selena is on the Moog 1 maybe as well. So they're very dreamy to go with the harp and the guitar, and playing very sort of subtle little melodies. And then my vintage vibe comes in there. And I use actually a Yamaha montage here as well, if I can show you that. I like it. It's a sound that I made myself. Quite a sort of breathy sound, so it blends in really nice with other sounds. So you can hear that with the Rhodes. And I've got the third wave also going there just to give it an extra little layer. So there's a few different keyboards there actually just making one part really. Here you can hear the Rhodes on its own. And then I have to come to the drummer, because the drummer is a guy called Jeremy Stacey. He's a really top UK drummer, phenomenal player and a great musician, you know, not just a great player, but he's got a musical soul. And he did such an amazing job on this track that I actually rewrote the track around his drums. And he played to this solo. The solo was here before almost anything else. I just knocked it out when I was coming up with the idea. And he just listened to the solo again and again and just fit his drums around it. You can hear it here, it's amazing. If you can hear it, here we go. You put the bass in as well so you can hear what's going on. So intricate, the drums. And he just sent me these drums. He did them at his studio at home. And I didn't really mess with them much at all, apart from putting a little low-end sample on the kick. So his drums sound like this. Let's just take the bass out for a sec. The bass, by the way, is a legendary bass player, Will Lee. Because I've got such a great drum pass, I thought I need to have an amazing bass player as well. And luckily, I'd had a little bit of contact with Will Lee, who's a complete legend. If you know anything about bass, he's played with everyone. He's one of the tops in the world. And he very graciously agreed to play on the track. And what a great player. What a great part. It just fit perfectly. Not ego playing, just the perfect thing for the track. So I was very grateful for that. But anyway, back to the drums. Here's what he sent me. Sounded amazing. All I did was I added a little low-end bass drum sample, which I copied beat by beat to be exactly with his playing. And I'll play it without. Sounds like this. If I bring it in, just brings a lovely low end thing, and it just makes the kit sound that much bigger without disturbing his playing, you know, or really altering the dynamics. I'll tend to do that sometimes with drums. If rather than compressing drums, I might add a sample, which is obviously not sensitive, and that sometimes can really help solidify a drums. You keep the dynamics of the drum kit, but you get that kind of bigger sound that we've all got used to through modern music. If you want to hear the sample on its own, it's not doing much. It's just that. Like I say, we had Will Lee on the bass. It's just beautiful. He did all his part at home. Just great playing. And he did something really lovely as well at the end here, well, in the middle section actually. He said, oh, you know, you don't need to use this, but I just put this little idea in, and he called it a bass choir. And if you hear it, he's just overdubbed about 4 basses doing this sort of Indian type thing. It's absolute genius. You know, I loved that. So it reminded me of Hendrix, like Waterfall or something like that. Or what's it called? May It Be Love, whatever it's called. So I had to keep that in. This is what it sounds like in the track. You know, that's what great musicians like Jeremy and Will bring. You know, these special little moments into a track, but not for no reason. You know, it served the track perfectly. It was the right place to do something like that. James Gardner Bateman played the sax. And then the very last thing was percussion by my friend Shola Akimbola, who's the percussionist in Jamiroquai. You should check out his music, by the way. His music's incredible. He's a really talented guy as an artist, as well as a percussionist. But he came over to play on a different track, actually. And I just said, oh, you know what, while you're here, would you just do one pass on this? And I just played in the track. And I actually didn't play him it beforehand. I just said, just play what you feel. Just played the track and recorded him. As he heard it for the first time, he performed on it. And it was just one of them magic moments, you know, where he was just honestly reacting to the music. He didn't have a chance to think about it. The music came through him and he just reacted. And it was just such a beautiful moment. It really was. And I loved what he did. Here we go. So at first he just put the odd little, if you can hear that, little conga rub. All these little parts. Which is kind of like, sounds like the sound of nature. I loved it. All these little bits here. Kind of random stuff is great. And then at the end he started playing a groove, and then we double track that. So there's 2 tracks of congas. It's cool, it just gave that bit of sort of really organic vibe that I wanted, if you hear in the track. So there you have it, Earth's Mysteries. Go and download it, go and buy it, Get it for your mum for Christmas. Pre-save the album. All support would be very much welcomed and appreciated. All right, lots of love. See you soon.